Hello everyone, it is time for 50 Shades of Black. You guys, this is my last update of this project. Second to last if we're counting the finale. So the finale is next month. That means I have 1 month to complete as many of these products and usage goals as I possibly can in order to reach the 68% completion rate that I am shooting for. That is how much I was able to finish of the 50 Shades of Brown project pan that we did last year, and I want to be able to do at least that much. And you guys, I don't know if it's gonna happen. In any case, if you are new to this project, this is a Fantastic Ladies collab project created by Jessica, Amanda, and CeCe. It is a year-long project pan where we roll in 50 products that are all related to the color black in some way. We do a new color every year. Last time it was 50 Shades of Brown. That project ended last year in April. Now we're working on 50 Shades of Black, which ends next month in April. And then we will be starting a new color entirely. So you'll have to stay tuned to find out what we're doing for the rest of the year. I am not going to be reaching my goal on all of these products. I don't think that was ever on the table. But again, I'm really hoping to reach that 68% completion, which means I need to finish at least 34 of the 50 products I have rolled in. So I have quite a few rollouts here. You will have seen some of these in my February roundup where I showed you guys all of my empties. So some of them are empties, but I have reached my goal on a few other products as well since then, and we will talk about all of those. So I am going to let you know how many times I have used each product, and Editing Rebecca is going to put the weights for you down at the bottom of the screen. The first one I'm actually really excited about. It's my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I have this rolled into finish. Well, first of all, I had actually decluttered this foundation at the beginning of the year when I did my foundation declutter, and while I was putting away those declutters, I realized there wasn't a whole lot left in this bottle. It was very light, and I thought to myself, girl, you spent so much money on this, why don't you just finish it? How I've been using this, which I think has made it more enjoyable for me, is I mixed it with a little bit of another foundation that gave me a little bit more coverage and a little bit more wear time. And that was my primary complaint about this formula. I just didn't feel like it covered quite as much as I wanted it to, and it really just didn't last on my skin. So I got out this empty cushion compact and I mixed the foundations together in the compact. And of course I adjusted it for my undertone. I use a blue mixer in almost all of my foundations to get it to match my undertone. I mixed it in here and then used it from this compact. So for my starting weight for this foundation, I weighed both of these together, and I have also weighed both of them for the end weight so we can actually see how much product I completed. Now, some of that product that I used is going to be the foundation I added into this, and some of it will of course be the color corrector, but the majority of the mixture is actually the Armani. I have used it 19 times since my update in February, and that makes 28 total uses that I managed to get out of this bottle before I called it empty. You can see some windowing in there. I actually went in with a spatula and scraped everything out. I used as much as I could from the cushion compact until I really wasn't getting any product out anymore. So this one I'm going to call done. Really excited about that one. That is my first foundation completed in 2026. It does feel so much better to have completed that foundation rather than just decluttering it. My next product is my Inky List Caffeine Eye Cream. This was in my empties at the beginning of the month. I was able to use this 8 times since my February update, and at that point she was done. I could have cut her open and maybe got a little bit more product out of there, but honestly I wasn't really attached to the product enough to really care that much. So I used it 8 times since my update in February, and that brings us to 79 total uses in this project. She is done. She is rolling out. It's an eye cream. I'm really not sold on eye creams. It feels like a moisturizer in a smaller packaging with a worse cost per weight ratio. So I don't really feel like it did anything to improve the look of tired eyes as it claims here on the packaging. I'm just not into eye creams. Although, if you do have a recommendation for something you really feel like made a difference, please let me know in the comments. I am still open to the possibility that eye creams might be helpful, but as it stands right now, that has not been my experience. Next, I have my NYX Lift and Snatch Brow Pen in the shade Gray Black. I have been through several of the ones in the shade Black. I got this one just kind of out of curiosity and sort of hoping that it might be just a little bit less intense than the black shade, but it was significantly more sheer than the black. Enough so that I really found it difficult to get a very defined hair-like stroke through my brow. And so what I ended up doing was I ended up using this to shade in my entire brow as kind of like a shadow underneath the brow hairs. And then I would go in with another product, either my black Lift and Snatch or my ABH Dip Brow. And that's how I used her up. After my February update, I got 7 more uses out of this before she was finally done. These things just go and go and go until one day they don't. And I think I bought this in April of last year, so that was almost a full year of use. And even though I wasn't using this every day, that's still pretty significant for a brow product in my experience. I really do like this product. This is just not my favorite color, and I probably will not purchase this color again. The next product is not an empty, but I did meet my usage goal. This is my favorite lip liner at the moment. This is NYX Moonwalk. I love this lip liner. It is such a nice, cool tone that has allowed me to wear some lipsticks I have in my collection that are just a little bit too warm for me. Because I have a cool olive undertone, a lot of things tend to pull very orangey on me, and this has kind of saved a lot of those lipsticks that I think I might have otherwise decluttered, but I have been able to wear them since I discovered this lip liner. It is just, I love this thing. I'm gonna swatch it for you. It's got this beautiful, cool, kind of purpley brown, such a nice lip liner. And I had it rolled in for 30 uses. That turned out to be a really kind of easy goal for this lip liner. I used it 12 times since my update in February, which brought it to a total of 30 uses. So this one is done and rolling out. Another one that is not an empty, but I did meet my goal on, this is the Huda Beauty lipstick in the shade Interview. It is one of my favorite lipsticks to pair with the NYX Moonwalk. When I first purchased this, I tried it on. I was like, oh, it's not quite as cool as I was hoping it would be. But with the Moonwalk, it is just such a perfect nudie pink lip. I've really been enjoying this. I rolled it in for 30 uses as well, and I use these together most times. So I also use this 12 times since my update in February, which brings it to 30 uses. The next thing I met my goal on was this beautiful MAC Powder Kiss lipstick. It's a matte liquid lipstick, but it is not a full dry down. It's very, very comfortable on the lips. This is such an interesting, cool nude color. It's such an interesting, I don't have anything else in my collection quite like that, and it's so pretty on the lips. I feel like it's a very, very nude on me, so I have to be in a certain mood in order to want to wear it. But I rolled this in for 30 uses. I used it 11 times since my update in February, bringing it to 30 uses, and this is rolling out. You know what, I do have to be in a particular mood for this, but I don't know, maybe I'm in that mood right now. I don't know, I always end up putting on at least one lip product when I'm filming. So this is going on over MAC's Cool Teddy, so it's probably a little bit pinker than it might appear on its own. I'm just going in with Moonwalk now. Ooh, I love that. So pretty. Anyway, sorry about that. This is a beautiful lipstick. I really, really have enjoyed it, and it is rolling out. Another product that you may have seen in my recent empties, this is the Honest Beauty Magic Gel to Milk Makeup Melting Cleanser. This one did not have a ton left in it, but the cap broke and I needed to finish it in a hurry. I usually use this one in the shower, so it was taking me a while. So I just popped it into this project to get it done, and she is finished. It actually only had 6 uses left in it, so this was a bit of a gimme product, but sometimes, like, listen, in these year-long projects, especially as behind as I am, you need a few gimmies, and this one is finally done. Would I repurchase this? I don't know. I don't think so. This is the first step in a double cleanse, and I don't think this is my favorite format. I think I prefer a balm. I just feel like a balm is a little bit more thorough than this was. I mean, it wasn't bad, but yeah, it's just not my favorite format, so I don't think I would repurchase that one. This next one is one that is technically an empty. I don't know what you would call it, but it really irritates me. I'm a little mad about this one. This is the Illuminati Duochrome or Multichrome. I can't remember which. I don't know which it is or which it's supposed to be. It's in the shade Air. I have a bone to pick with this. I just don't feel like duochrome or multichrome works in a liner, or at least not a pencil liner. I don't know. This was just a giant nothing burger. I have been complaining to you guys about it since I rolled it in, and I didn't feel like it added anything to my look. I tried it in a bunch of different ways. I even tried to use it as a cream eyeshadow. I have only used it once since the last update. However, during that last use, I must have just rolled it up a tiny bit too much because it snapped off and the remaining product fell down my drain. So I can't even call this really an empty. I am not going to count this towards my completion because I didn't finish it. I'm just unable to use it any further. I'm annoyed at that. I'm annoyed that the progress that I did make on this project, which was all grudging and unwilling use, this was a little bit of a hate pan, I'm not going to lie. And all that effort is now wasted. Urgh. I'm not happy with the way it went down. I'm not happy that I'm not going to be able to count it towards my completion percentage, but I'm not sad that it's gone because I did not like it at all. I was never happy with the way this looked in any capacity, so good riddance. Next, somewhat shockingly, I have met my goal on both of the blushes that I rolled into this project last month. I was thinking about rolling in one blush for 20 uses, but I couldn't decide which one of my Essence Pure Nude blushes to roll in. This is my Berry Cheeks and this is Bold Heart, and so I decided to roll them both in for 10 uses a piece, and I have met the goal on both of those. I actually think I used the Berry Cheeks 12 times because I've been wearing a lot more cool looks over the last month than I have warm looks, and so I reached for this just a tiny bit more. A few times I combined these and it made kind of a nice neutral looking blush. I really enjoy this Essence formula. I think they have discontinued it. I think this is gone, but they do have a new baked blush situation that I think may just be a reincarnation of this formula. I have not yet tried it, but I am hopeful that it is just these blushes repackaged because these are really nice. The one thing I do hate about these blushes, honestly, is this. The hinge broke. This type of makeup packaging with the two little posts there and then the plastic hinge, they always break. I don't think I've had a single one of these that has not broken at some point on me. I know this is an inexpensive product, and so I'm going to get inexpensive packaging, but surely we should be able to make inexpensive packaging that actually performs its function for the lifetime of the product, because this is ridiculous. This feels like a design flaw to me. Surely with all of our modern technology, we can fix this, right? I know we have bigger fish to fry than makeup packaging, but seriously, people, this is not acceptable. Love the blush, hate the packaging. Another lip liner. This is my Give Me Glow lip liner in the shade Wicked. This is a beautiful, I'm going to swatch it next to Moonwalk so you can see the differences there. That's Moonwalk here and that's Wicked up here. It's a little bit less brown, slightly more purple. It is a beautiful, cool, toned lip liner. This poor lip liner, she's been to the wars, okay? I had a ADHD moment and attempted to sharpen her. She's a roll-up lip liner. She's not supposed to be sharpened, and so that's why she looks all crazy like that. But regardless of the packaging, I really do like this color. Now, I do have some issues with the Give Me Glow formula. I have several of their lip liners that I purchased, I think, at the end of 2024. So I've had them around for a while, and I do feel like they have dried out just a little bit in the tube to the point where they tug a little bit on the lip line, and some of them, the pigment will ball up a little bit on my lips, which is not ideal. This is not my favorite lip liner formula, but I'm willing to forgive them because the colors Give Me Glow does are so interesting and unique. I can't find those shades in any other lip liner range, including this one. I don't think I have anything like this, and because of that, I'm willing to overlook the flaws in the formula. Regardless, I just adore this lip liner. I love the color. I think that Give Me Glow has discontinued these, and I'm kind of sad about that because, again, I love the color so much that despite the shortcomings of the formula, I would go back and buy several more of these if they were still selling them. I really would. Given the fact that I had a couple other lip liners rolled into this project, I went ahead and rolled this in for 15 uses, and I have used it 15 of 15 times. The last rollout I have today is in my Natasha Denona Mini Eye Sculpt palette. I rolled this into the project. I used the black shade in here to justify rolling this into the project, but I rolled each shade individually into the project as a separate product, and I rolled each of them in for 30 uses. Honestly, I wasn't sure. The last couple of months, I really had my doubts whether or not I was going to hit those goals, but I think I might, you guys. So I have these numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5 rolled out a couple months ago, and now 4 is rolling out. I still have uses left. Let's just talk about the uses I have left on the other ones. Since we've got it here, I have used all 3 of these 13 times since my update in February. However, I think it was this one. I actually think it had one more use in February than the other two. So I only have 5 uses left on this one, and I have 6 uses left on each of these. Despite my doubts back in January, I think I'm going to get this done. I was a little worried, but 6 uses over the next month for each of these, I don't think I'm going to have a problem finishing the rest of these uses. We are losing the daylight. I'm going to have to change my settings really quick. Now let's talk about the rest of the products I have progress on and whether or not I feel like I'm going to be able to finish them before the end of the project in a month. First, I have this little tiny bitty little nub of a lip liner. This is the Makeup by Mario lip liner in the shade Smoky Pink. This is a very nice My Lips But Better type shade. It runs just a hair warm on me, but paired with the right things, it can look really, really nice. I rolled this into finish. I have used it 14 times since my last update, and I think we're going to be able to get it done. Like, she doesn't have much to go. I think maybe I'll be able to sharpen her one more time, but I think I have this one in the bag, you guys. I feel like this kind of makes up for the massive failure of my ColourPop lip liner last year. That was a disaster. I kept losing it, and then I lost it a month before the finale and wasn't able to finish it. But anyway, I do tend to lose lip products a lot because I'm taking them with me on the go. So they end up in a pocket of a coat or in a handbag or in the little coin pocket on some jeans. This one I'm keeping on my vanity. I'm not going to take it with me anywhere just in case. I don't need another ColourPop lip liner situation happening this time. Then I have another NYX Lift and Snatch brow pen rolled into this project. This is in the color black. I'm wearing it in my brows now. This I have used 10 times since my update in February. I have kind of been going back and forth between this one and my ABH Dip Brow. I actually thought this one was done a couple of weeks ago. I was using this one along with the gray black color, and I couldn't get any product out of it. I used all my tricks to try to get the last product I could out of this, and there was no pigment coming out. So I called it done, stuck it in my empties basket, and when I was swatching it during my February roundup while showing you my empties, it started working again. And so false alarm on that one. I thought it was done, but it is not yet done, and it's still fine. It's not quite as opaque as it was at one time, but it's still doing the job. So I'm going to keep this in. I'm going to keep using it. Again, these things go and go until they just stop. So I am hopeful that I will be able to get this one done by the end of the project. But to be honest, I don't know. It's really difficult to tell how close you are to the end of one of these pens. I'm hoping the fact that it stopped working there for a little bit means I'm almost done. But we're just gonna have to see what happens, honestly. It'll be a surprise for all of us. Next, I have my Urban Decay All-Nighter. This is just a mini that I've had hanging around in my collection for a while now, and it was time for me to use it up. This does dry my skin out a little bit if I use it every day, so I was kind of saving it for days when I needed a little bit longer wear out of my makeup, and I managed to use this 6 times since my last update. I think we're almost done. I think there might be one more use left in this one, and then we're going to be able to call this one done. Next, I have my Innisfree Volcanic BHA Pore Cleansing Foam. This is a really lovely cleanser, enough so that I already have a backup of this waiting for me once this is done. I rolled this one into finish, and again, this is another one that I'm not sure about. I felt like we're on the last legs of this tube for a while now. However, you really only need a tiny bit of this cleanser, and it works up a really, really nice lather. You just need a little bit. And so it's been going really, really slowly. I'm going to do my absolute best to get this done by the end of the project. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this one, you guys. I felt like we were almost there for a couple months now. I have used it 9 times since my update in February. Now, that's not a lot of uses, and this is a product I should be using every night. But February was very stressful, so a lot of nights I was just using my cellar water and calling it a day. Obviously, that's not going to get my skin as clean as a double cleanse will, but sometimes we just do what we can do. You know what I'm saying? So it was a very micellar water type month for me last month. And so I only got 9 uses on this one. I'm going to buckle down and try to be super consistent with my skincare and my double cleanse in the evening, and hopefully we'll be able to get this one done by the end of the project. I have a couple of eyeshadow sticks rolled in. This is my Kiko Milano eyeshadow stick, I think in the shade isn't on here. It's just a number 38. I know it's something taupe. I can't remember exactly the name of this one, but I rolled this and my Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in the shade Moonlight. I rolled them in for 15 uses a piece. Here, I'm going to swatch them for you. This is the Kiko right here. It's got a little bit more sparkle than you can really see in that swatch. It's a really, really nice all over the lid one and done type situation. And that is the Laura Mercier right there. The two of these together make a really pretty, quick, easy eye, but I have an abundance of quick, easy eyes right now that I have to choose from. And I have been focusing mostly on the Natasha Denona Mini Eye Sculpt palette. So I used the Kiko 7 times since the February update. That is 7 of 15 times, so I have 8 uses left. The Laura Mercier I used 8 times out of 15, so I have 7 uses left on these ones. That should be doable within the next month. Then last month I rolled in an eyeshadow palette. This is my Pat McGrath Mothership 10 Moonlit Seduction. In my humble opinion, this is her best Mothership. I really, really love this palette. I rolled it in for No Pan Left Behind ×2. I'm not quite there yet. Now, I've used all of these shades here at least once, with the exception of this one here on the end, this white one, and this duochrome shade here. This is a green purple shift. Those two I have not used at all. The rest of them I have used at least one time. I have used this shade here twice, my favorite shade in the palette, and I've used this gold special shade here twice as well. So I still have a few more uses to get on this palette, but even with the Natasha Denona palette and the 2 eyeshadow sticks, I think I can do this. I think this is doable within the next month. Next, my ABH contour stick. This is the old one in the shade Mink, and to be honest, at my February update, I decided to just not worry about this one and focus on other products. I have not been contouring a ton lately. I think I used it 9 times since my last update in February. I was ready to call this one a fail. I had already decided we're not gonna make it, but you guys, look how much product there is left. There is a little bit of a dome left on this, but we are almost down to the plastic. I could use a brush and go down further into the product, but I have a backup waiting for me, so I don't think I'm gonna bother with that. I might be able to finish this. I'm gonna have to contour a little bit more in this coming month than I have been, but I might be able to finish this contour stick by the end of the project. Then I have my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow. This is such a nice product. I discovered it, I think at the beginning of the year. I tried it just out of curiosity, and I have been really enjoying this. I have this rolled in for 30 uses. I only used it 7 times since the last update. That 7 uses brings me up to 21 uses total, so I have 9 uses of 30 left. And I think I can get that done. I am still working on this one. I have another brow product rolled in. That one's not happening. I've given up on that one. So in lieu of that, I may be able to get this one done before the end of the project. Here's another one I'm a little iffy about. This is my Huda Beauty Matte and Metal Liquid Eyeshadows. I do love a good liquid eyeshadow. I have each side of this rolled in as a separate product. So I have the matte side and I have the shimmer side. The matte side, I think I'm going to be able to finish it. I'm using the matte side as a eyeshadow base. I had it rolled in for 30 uses and I've used it 11 times since my update in February. That gives me, I think, 7 uses left, and that should be no problem. The shimmer side, on the other hand, again, I've been doing a lot of quick, easy eye looks. I've been mostly going all matte with this eyeshadow palette here. I've only used the shimmer side twice since February, and that brings me to a total of 8 uses in this project. So I have 22 uses left. I don't know if that's gonna happen, you guys. I don't know why I didn't use it with this eye look. It would be perfect with this eye look. Three uses since February. I still don't know if I'm gonna make my goal. 21 uses, that's a lot of uses in 1 month. I don't know why I haven't reached for it more. I'm just not reaching for a lot of shimmer lately. It is so pretty though. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a shot, you guys. But again, 21 uses in 1 month. I don't know if I'm doing my makeup 21 times in a month, but we're going to try. We're gonna try to meet this goal. I'm confident about the matte side. I'm just not as confident about the shimmer side. Speaking of shimmer that I'm not fully confident about. I have the Give Me Glow highlighter here in the shade Pink Moscato Wasted. This is a face and body highlighter. It is this beautiful pink. Let me show you. It broke, so I had to repress it. But it's this beautiful pink gold shift. So pretty. I love it for an inner corner highlight. I just, again, haven't been using a lot of shimmer lately. So I have only used this 6 times since the update in February, and that gives me 16 uses left. Because I kind of use both of these shimmers in the same way, I like to use them in the inner corner as highlights. I don't know if I can get them both done. I don't know if I can get this one done at all, but I might have to choose. If I have to choose, I've got to go with the Give Me Glow because I only have 16 uses left on this one, whereas I have 21 left on this. So that gives me a little bit of an advantage, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get them both done. I'm probably going to have to choose this one instead. I'm going to attempt to use them both, but if I have to prioritize one over the other, it's going to be this one. Next, I have a little mini of the NARS Translucent Crystal Under Eye Setting Powder. Like I said last month, I have no idea why I rolled this in. It's the middle of winter. My under eyes are not particularly oily in the wintertime, and I use a concealer that is self-setting. I don't need this powder under my eyes during the winter. During the summertime, an under eye setting powder is a lot more useful for me because my skin is a lot more oily. But that's just not the case right now. So I have really been struggling to get my uses on this one. I rolled it in for 30 uses and I have used it 7 times since the update in February. Most of those times I used it in my T-zone, not under my eyes, which may be a way that I can get my uses done here. But a lot of days I have been going without powder entirely. I have 18 uses left on this powder. Again, not confident about that one. I don't know if I'm doing my makeup 18 times. I'm gonna really try this coming month. I just don't know. I don't know about that one, you guys. Then I have the honorary product that I can't show you right now because I can't find it. That is my Morphe brow pencil in the shade Chocolate Mousse, which is supposed to be a soft black, but is more like a deep brown. I have a lot of brow products here that I'm working on. And those 2 Lift and Snatch pens have lasted longer than I expected them to. So I really have not been using the Morphe. And there's too much product to go through. There's no way I'm getting through that in 1 month. It's not happening. I'm not even going to try. That is another one that is not going to be contributing to my final completion percentage. This is my Tresemme Dry Texturizing Spray. This is a texturizing spray that I like to use to kind of zhuzh up a blowout on day 2 or 3. But I can count probably on one hand the number of times I've done a blowout on my hair in the last few months. So I really haven't had a lot of use for this. I have only used this 2 times since February, and there's like, we've got half a can in here. There's just too much product for me to get through in 1 month. So this one is just, it's not happening. We're gonna end on a win here. I have my Clinique Black Honey Almost Lipstick. I have used it 10 times since the last update. And she's done. I cannot roll her up any further. I've actually started digging in with a little lip brush, which I don't think is necessary in order to consider this an empty. I usually consider a lip product empty once we hit the rim and I can no longer apply it from the tube. But I've really been liking this. I don't love it on its own just because I do feel it's a little bit drying, but I like to use it the way I sometimes use my lip oil, which is to just add in the center of a more matte lipstick to make it a little more comfortable and to add a little bit of that berry tint to the center of my lips. I've really been enjoying that, so I decided to keep using it. I'm going to keep using it with a lip brush until it becomes annoying to do so, and then I will call it an empty, but I'm sure that's going to happen sometime in the next month. So that one is a win. I need to have 34 completed products in order to make the 68% completion goal that I have set for myself. To this point, I have finished 17 products in this project. There are another 15 that I've shown you here that I think that I can finish by the end of the project. That brings us to 32. I'm too short, you guys. That means at least 2 of these products that I've told you I'm not sure about, that I don't know if I can finish, at least 2 of them I'm going to need to finish in order to hit my 68% completion. I don't know. This is a big cliffhanger to leave you on because I'm just not sure that I can do this. Most of the ones that I'm uncertain about, it's for good reason. I have the ones that there's too much product. There's no way. I could apply it 5 times a day and I still would not get through it. Maybe the NARS powder, maybe. Possibly the metal side of the matte metal liquid shadow, but again, if I'm using the Give Me Glow, honestly, it is anyone's guess whether or not I'm going to be able to hit 68%. Obviously, if I hit, 64, 65% completion, that is not a failure by any means, but I was really hoping that I could meet that goal like I did last year. We're just going to have to see. Stay tuned, you guys. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!